Hello, welcome back. China's Cultural Revolution is probably the most obvious example of radical communism in China. The goal of the Cultural Revolution was to try to wipe out all of the bourgeois, capitalist, bureaucratic and technocratic elements from society and culture. So in this sense, it was a radical attempt to equalize the structure of society. Mao addressed workers and students directly and called on them to rise up and smash the bourgeois and capitalist elements within society and also within the Communist Party. So this was an attack on the bureaucratic structures of the Communist Party, instigated by Mao. It's a really extraordinary phenomenon. What emerged in response was the Red Guards. These were bands of students who swore loyalty to Mao and understood themselves to be bringing about the promise of the revolution and trying to defend it from those enemy elements within China who were trying to drag it off course. The Red Guards famously wore Mao suits and they often carried with them the Little Red Book. This is a small red book of quotations of Chairman Mao that they would memorize and study, and they would often have fierce debates amongst themselves about how best to interpret Mao's various sayings. And the Red Guards, there were many different factions and they did not get along. There was lots of clashes, often very violent clashes between different groups of Red Guards, fighting about their different interpretations of how to understand Mao and how to understand what class was, who counted as bourgeois and who counted as capitalist, and who the enemy therefore really was. Groups of Red Guards would hold struggle sessions against people that they identified as the revolutionary enemies, people who to them represented capitalism or bourgeois culture. During these sessions, people were made to stand often in very humiliating positions in front of a large crowd who were hurling insults at them, and sometimes they would be subjected to violence. As you can perhaps guess if you've seen some of the other videos on this channel, one of the main targets of struggle during the Cultural Revolution was Liu Shaoqi and also his wife Wang Guangmei. Here's a photo of them together in 1960. Liu Shaoqi was one of the leading members of the Communist Party, and he had taken over from Mao after Mao took a back seat after the complete disaster of the Great Leap Forward. And Liu Shaoqi played a large role in trying to get the economy going again. This is in the early 1960s. And as I've talked about in some of the other videos, he was a modernist kind of communist. He believed in running the economy by top-down planning and having a very large bureaucracy. And he didn't mind emerging elements of social inequality as long as this helped get the economy going again. Of course, all of these were things that Mao hated. And during the Cultural Revolution, Mao and his supporters associated Liu Shaoqi very strongly with the Soviet Union, which Mao also hated, of course, because it was very bureaucratic and Mao thought imperialist as well. So Mao and his supporters would denounce Liu Shaoqi as China's Khrushchev, Khrushchev being the former leader of the Soviet Union up until 1964, who Mao had very badly fallen out with. This propaganda poster from 1968 shows what I suppose Mao would consider to be some good communists. There's a soldier and some manual labourers shoveling out Liu Shaoqi like he's a piece of garbage. The caption reads, "The renegade, traitor and scab Liu Shaoqi must forever be expelled from the party." And here's a photo of Liu Shaoqi being subjected by the Red Guards to one of many struggle sessions which he was forced to endure during this period. This photo is from 1967, I think. Liu died in prison in 1969, allegedly in great pain due to diabetes, which he wasn't allowed to have treated. And here's his wife, Wang Guangmei, also being subjected to a Red Guard struggle session. This was also in 1967. She's been forced to wear a tight-fitting qipao dress and high heels and a straw hat of the kind that English aristocratic ladies would wear at garden parties, and a mock necklace made out of ping pong balls. This is an outfit put together by the Red Guards intended to mock the style of dress that she apparently wore several years earlier when she was having a diplomatic dinner with her husband on a trip to Indonesia. This outfit that she wore supposedly demonstrated her bourgeois tastes, and here it's really intended to humiliate her as much as possible. In the next video, I'll talk about how the horrific events of the Cultural Revolution, which actually went on for 10 years from start to finish, really laid the groundwork for the complete repudiation of this radical style of communism in China, and for the triumph and the rise to the top of the modernist communists by the 1980s. Thank you for watching.